Welcome back to Our Vote, Our Right, BNC special coverage of the 2021 election. Shannon Lanier joins us now to talk about some of the congressional races that are being decided tonight. Good evening, Shannon.
Good evening, Dale. Now, it's important to remember that the winner of these races will get to vote on key issues in Washington. So, for example, in Ohio, the seat in District 15 is up for grabs. Democrat Allison Russo is taking on Republican Mike Carey. The person who comes out on top of this race, well, they'll be replacing Steve Stivers. Now, he left the seat in May to lead the State Chamber of Commerce. Two women bringing some black girl magic. Don't you love the sound of that? Some black girl magic to the race is Ohio District 11. GOP candidate Laverne Gore and Democrat candidate Shontel Brown are facing off to fill the seat vacated by Marcia Fudge. Now, you may remember that she resigned to become the U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. And don't go anywhere, because in our next half an hour, we'll take a look at some of the important referendums on the ballot that impact black communities. And we're also going to be asking you all to weigh in on some of these issues, regardless of where you live. We're going to be telling you to go to our social media accounts to give your opinion. Dale?
Okay, Shannon, thank you very much. Aisha Mills is the host of BNC's Amplified. She joins us now to talk about the 11th Congressional District in Ohio, and Nina Turner is back. She knows something about that district. She was once considered the front runner for the Democratic nomination there. So, Nina, talk about this race, representation, what it means to have black women on both sides of the ballot this time.
Yeah, vitally important to do so. And oftentimes the makeup of more localized races when it comes to Republicans is a lot different than the fervor and the animus that is displayed on the federal level. So, but this race has about a 30-point, or this district, I should say, has about a 30-point Democratic spread. So the likelihood that Ms. Gore will win is pretty slim. But to see two black women competing is absolutely a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha?
Yeah, let me jump in here. I just want to remind people, I know that we often want to have a bit of connection around being kinfolk, right? Oh, we got two black women on, each side doing blah, blah, blah. But my perspective is that just because you're black and you're running for office doesn't mean that you hold the interests of black people in your hand and care about those. And so what I'm always looking for, and I'm so excited about Black Girl Magic for sure, but I'm always looking to see what people stand for and what they're going to do when they get elected. And so I'm curious, to see how it plays out with the voters, how they feel the messaging has hit them. Has there been a real differentiation between these two black women and how they would lead and what they would do? I also had the opportunity to interview Shontel Brown when she was running in the primary against you, Nina, actually, and hear her talk through some of the issues that are happening. And at the end of the day, this district, as Nina knows better than anybody, this community is really facing the issues that working people are facing all across this country. And so, will working people win? To me, becomes the real question in this race.
Nina, and I definitely, I totally agree with that. I wish there was more bandwidth to have that kind of debate. Usually in the general, because the DPI in this district is so highly, turned in favor of the Democrat, what you just laid out has not been happening in the general. And I would argue it barely happened in the primary, but I'm a little biased there.
Nina, what is your state now? You are right in the middle of what is a changing demographic America. In one sense, you got part of the state that looks like it could be the new Ohio. You've got part of the state that looks like it is the old Ohio. So where you are right now with regards to the 11th Congressional District, what is it?
Well, the Ohio 11th Congressional District is a majority African-American district. When the lines are redrawn, it will not be majority African-American, but when you combine the African-American community with our Latinx community and some other communities of color, it will still remain a majority district of color from its historic roots. And I know both of you remember the late and great Congressman Congressman Louis Stokes. And this district actually was the 21st House district and it was fought for by both Stokes brothers, both Mayor Carl B. Stokes and then then Congressman Louis Stokes before he became congressman. So it definitely has a rich, history. And one of the things I'm really concerned about, and I think all of us should be concerned about, is how these lines are drawn, and that the Democratic Party in particular needs to pay more attention to state legislatures, because that is where the lines are drawn. When I was in the Ohio Senate, I actually voted against the last maps in 2011 because of the configuration and how it consigned voters to Republican districts when and did not recognize that voters should be choosing their elected officials and not the other way around. And so as populations change, we definitely have to make sure that we pay attention to redistricting. I know it's not sexy, but it is so vitally important, and it determines who actually can run vibrantly in these congressional districts throughout. And I don't want us to we are going to have to wait another 10 years because the Democrats did not do a particularly good job. They did a poor job, actually, of really keeping their eye on state legislatures across the country. And the Republicans are gerrymandering in some of the worst ways we have seen in a very long time. And technology allows them to do it in such a way that does a disservice to communities, and particularly communities of color.
Nina, I'm so thankful that you brought up redistricting and gerrymandering and how it ultimately hurts us. And I'm hopeful that throughout this broadcast, we get to talk more about that for sure. And especially, there are some members of Congress who are black members who think that we should actually stop creating these majority black districts. So that's another talking point we can get to.
Yeah, indeed.
And we will be talking about all of that because there is much more straight ahead on our election coverage. You are watching Our Right, Our Vote right here on BNC. Stay with us. We will be right back.